A thread by Soul War. The silent war is over. Trump and America won it, while America bickered and fought over a stolen election. First, this clip where Acting Secretary of Defense Chris Miller goes off script and spills the gosh darn beans. Listen carefully to every word. S. Moran 99 tweeted, Chris Miller became Acting Secretary of Defense November 9th, 2020. On December 18th, he tells Vice President Pence, we've gone through some of the most complex MILOPs this country has ever conducted, and your steady hand and leadership during those times was a great source of strength for me. Let's listen, shall we?
Vice President, I'm going off script again, I know, but I just want to personally thank you. We've been through some stuff. We've gone through some of the most complex military operations this country's ever conducted, and your steady hand and your leadership during those was a great source of strength for me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your character. Thank you for your selfless service. Thank you for commitment. Thank you for being a mentor to me, Mr. Vice President. And with that, the floor is yours, sir.
Dwayne continues, what the ever-lovin' hell is he talking about? What ding-dong-danged complex military operations is he talking about? I have no idea. No one outside special operations does either. Nothing leaked. November 9th to December 18th is 40 days. Whatever happened, we missed it. Was he kissing up to the vice president? First, a bit of background on Chris Miller. Ever see the movie 12 Strong? He was one of the United States Delta Force horse soldiers. He's a genuine war-fighting badass, handpicked to be Acting Secretary of Defense at this critical moment. Guys who move in those circles don't kiss ass, they kick it. They take their oaths to protect and defend our Constitution with deadly seriousness. In my last thread, I said the showdown would be oath keepers versus oath breakers, and I meant it. Apparently, the showdown has happened already. While everyone was being distracted by the election follies, my favorite picture that describes the Trump administration is this one. The poster of the movie Basic. Look at the tagline. Deception is their most dangerous weapon. Travolta's knock is General Flynn, non-official cover. No one in the film, Travolta, Jackson, the squad, was who they appeared to be. Only the lady MP, who was the audience perspective, was who she said she was. Travolta's DEA agent Hardy was mesmerizing and made up for the dreadful flick The General's Daughter. I see Trump's inner circle as Hardy's unit revealed at the end of the film after all the bad guys have been exposed and arrested and neutralized. Here's another random video clip, some guy saying something. United States Special Operations is its own command now. This is long, but let's watch it anyway.
Today, the Department of Defense has started the process of formalizing what we have long known, the fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments as authorized and directed by Congress. As we enact these reforms, we follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. President Kennedy gave these remarks at the opening of the nuclear age, when the Pentagon was primarily organized to plan and direct large conventional operations against superpowers, not special operations short of overt declared conflict. The global demands for special operations forces then and now has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces. It is fitting that we are again entering an era of great power competition as we gather to affirm the importance of the special operations community. Then as now, I know special operations forces will play a vital role, and by the historic reforms we have enacted today, we will ensure Special Operations Forces has a civilian advocate commensurate to the secretaries of the other military departments. I am honored to serve as your service secretary. Thank you very much.
The days of the generals saluting President Trump and then ignoring him are over. He's done what he's done to all the critical U.S. institutions and departments compromised by domestic and foreign corruption. He's running them using key individuals and cutting the rest out of the loop. For the very few of you who don't know, this is Ezra Cohen Watnick, one of Donald Trump's most trusted spy masters. Mike Pompeo and about 10 other people are the U.S. State Department right now, as in they are the U.S. State Department right now. The thousands of others working there are drawing a check for sitting on their butts wondering what Mike is up to. Trump's done this with the DOJ, State Department, and now the U.S. military. Chris Miller, wasn't LARPing. Somehow, the United States Special Operations Forces conducted the most complex military operations in United States history, and we don't know anything about them. But we will. President Trump is a consummate showman, and these operations are going to go public on November 6th. Wild. Pete Navarro releases 36-page report alleging election fraud more than sufficient to swing victory to Trump. A great report by Peter. Statistically impossible to have lost the 2020 election. Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild. Donald J. Trump. I'm showing this again for context. When I first posted it, I was called a lunatic and purveyor of fear porn. Those were CCP terrorists operating on U.S. soil. They were attacking and removing the White House barricade to encourage American rioters to charge. Let's take a look. 15 seconds. That was Mandarin Chinese. Jennifer Zhang tweets, rioters outside White House. Man says in Mandarin Chinese, go, go, hurry up, leave quickly. President Trump, Secretary Pompeo, you need to investigate what kind of a role the CCP is playing in this when the U.S. and world want to hold the CCP responsible for the CCP virus pandemic. Dwayne continues. To get American rioters shot dead on the White House lawn, U.S. Secret Service put Trump and his family in the secured bunker so they wouldn't have to use deadly force to discharge their duty. So the press mocked Trump for cowering in his bunker. He doesn't make the call. U.S. Special Operations becomes the equivalent of its own branch of the military, And a month and 10 days later, the acting Secretary of Defense gets choked up talking about what's been accomplished since he took over. Like the recovery of the American Republic? Will we ever know everything? Hail to the gnaw. The vast majority of this is classified. Sources, methods, and capabilities must be safeguarded. Take the win, America. Trust me, we are long past due a win of this magnitude. This is the win President Trump's bringing us on the 6th. Trump says it will be a wild protest. Thomas Wichter theorizes it will be a wild celebration. I agree, because we've already won. As the left screeches at us to accept President elect doddering scumbag, their power is broken irrevocably. January 6th will be our moment to cheer and their moment to wail. The negative vessel will shatter. Their world will implode. The victory they were promised through deception and theft will condemn them to infamy and a political wilderness, as they deserve. The CCP won't survive this upheaval either. Their actions during the pandemic have doomed them. Balance will occur there as well. I'm praying the spirit of Hong Kong manifests to replace that of Marx. We'll have 4 more years of Trumpian excellence during which to help them. Everyone should be preparing for a wonderful Christmas and New Year, a year where I am confident, using the discernment the left want me to be ashamed of. The best is yet to come. To support the works of Brent Cates, donate any amount at paypal.me/Brent Cates. Also, check out the Americana Rising Teespring store, link in the thread.